G'day, it's Jamie, and welcome to Where's My Yowie? Well, I'm sorry to say, but like the title says, I've got nothing. I haven't got any Yowie or any other stories that I can put on Where's My Yowie at the moment. I'm still searching on Trove. I want to talk a bit more about that in a sec. I've just sold my house, and I'll be moving in a couple of weeks' time. So I'm really a bit hectic at the moment. So I'm just having a break. Plus, I need to have a break because it's still my head in searching Trove. Okay, so I'm still searching every now and then on Trove, but it does my head in. I'm searching tigers for Tantanoola Tigers at the moment, and I'm working my way through it chronologically. And so I started at I think the first story was 1803, and at the moment, and I've done I'm over 100, hundreds and hundreds of pages I've searched through, and I'm up to 1880s. But when I get to and I'm finding stories, which is great, but I'm not finding many stories for Where's My Yowie, like bush yarns or bunyip or Yowie stories. But when I get to the 1890s, which is like 10 years away in my search that I'm doing, which shouldn't take me 10 years to get there, there is going to be the start of the Tantanoola Tiger that was patrolling around South Australia. And what I've noticed with that was I found a lot of Tantanoola Tiger stories from searching for Yowies because they kept referencing Tantanoola Tigers. And then they're saying, when they're talking about Yowies, they mention them in the same sentence. Same with bunyips as well, which is really interesting. So I'll be finding more soon, I know, of Yowies. And there'll be any more stories that come that aren't about big cats, thylacines or thylacoleos that I'm searching for, while I'm looking for tigers. They'll get straight ported to Where's My Yowie. But just at the moment, I haven't got anything. I'm sorry. Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you about was searching Trove. I got turned on to Trove years and years ago before I even thought about searching for Yowie stories or anything like that. And that's how I knew how to look for Yowie stories, because I searched Trove years ago. And what I was doing was searching my family history. Particularly, I only virtually know my mother's side of the family due to my mother and father separating when I was young, and we never had a life together or anything like that. But what it was I wanted to find out about my grandfather, my mother's father. And the main reason was his past was pretty sketchy. No one really knew exactly who his parents were, which was really strange, and he never talked about it. So I thought it'd be interesting to have a look, and I thought I'd look into it too. I wanted to see if I had like bushrangers or convicts or something like that, something real salacious and juicy that I could tell people, and I actually did find it. Looking back on Trove, and I traced my grandfather's name backwards, virtually. I searched his name, and then I found that he was born to such and such, and then I searched and went back, and it turns out my great-grandparents of my grandfather, the father was, it's very unclear who he was, and through family people saying and that, he was known as a guy called Pa. He was possibly American, and he was also the town tomcat. Like, he got around, baby, I'll tell you. He got around, apparently, and was with all the ladies and such like that. But here's the killer, and I love this. I reckon this is the best thing ever. It's as good as having a bushranger or a convict in your family for a, juicy past. My great-grandmother was a Catholic nun. I know, it's really weird. Her name was Sister Mary Mercedes. She fell pregnant to this guy, Pa, while she was a nun. She ended up having the child at the nunnery, from what I can gather. And then she gave the child to her sister to raise. And because her sister had just married this guy whose last name is my mother's maiden name, but he wasn't the father of my mother's father. But he was, like I say, he ended up being a stepfather, I suppose. He was a stonemason that worked around the rocks area in Sydney and did a lot of the cuttings of the rocks area. If you know Sydney well, on the rocks and the sandstone cuts. Yeah, well, my grandfather's stepfather did a hell of a lot of that stuff. But yeah, anyway, and it was like really scandalous in them days for a single mother, right? That was like the biggest thing ever, that was the worst crime ever, apparently. But she was a Catholic nun. And then after she had the child and gave it away, they ended up kicking her out. And I don't know what's happened to her or any of them, but it's really weird. But also, if you want to look up on Trove, there's a couple of tips I wanted to give you. First of all, when you go there and search, you're not going to find what you want straight away. If you do, you fluked it. Because if you want to use more than one word, it's complicated. And then when it shows up, it shows up if you type in like one word, like say you're going to search yowies and you want a gorilla. So you type in gorilla, well, it'll come up and it'll be ordered in. You can organise the way the search is by oldest, newest, or most relevant. And it usually defaults to most relevant. So when you come up with gorilla, it'll have popular stories about gorillas. But if you go by the earliest first, the people will be describing gorillas in the Australian bush, even though gorillas haven't gotten to Australia yet. But you'll also get a hell of a lot of stories about gorillas in Africa and that, which is really frustrating when you're searching for it. But what you do is you go to the advanced search section of Trove, and you've got to read the help section on how to do an advanced search. And so, if you're going to do a two-name search, right? So say you're going to look for Hairy Man, right? Or actually, I'm going to change that. So you're going to look for Jamie Martin, which is my name, because I reckon everyone should get on there and look up their relatives. If you're going to search for Jamie Martin, you have to, if you just type that in the Trove and go hit enter or search, you'll get every article that was ever written about Jamie and every article that was ever written about Martin. If you want the two words to be next to each other when you do it, you have to type in inverted commas, then your two words like Jamie Martin or Hairy Man, inverted commas again, and then afterwards you put a tilde in, which is the special character that's before the one on your keyboard that you have to use shift to use. It looks like a lazy S laying down. And so you use that. I'm breaking up here, sorry about that. If you use that, and then after you do the tilde, it'll be you put a 0 or a 1, and that allows for how much gap of words in between Jamie and Martin or Hairy Man. So that if you put a 0 in for Hairy Man, there'll be no words in between Hairy and Man in the article you're looking for. And same as if you put, so with Jamie Martin, I've got a middle name. So I'll put a tilde 1 after the inverted commas, Jamie Martin in inverted commas, tilde 1, and that'll allow for me to have my middle name, so Jamie, middle name Martin, will be there, and it's that way you can find it. And then you organise that by dates, and you can do advanced dates, which helps hone in on your relatives because you know when they were born. Like you don't want to go straight back to 1800 because they might not be your relatives you're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple of favours for me, please. Can you just go to Tantanoola Tigers and subscribe, please? I'll put a link in the description and it'll be the pinned post. And if you're missing out on Yowie stuff, if you just go to my channel, I've got a folder playlist called Jamie's Favourites. And what it is they're what I think are the most significant Yowie stories that I've found so far that have the best descriptions and the best stories of Yowies instead of just like, oh yeah, I saw a gorilla in the bush sort of thing, where this one like attacked me or threw rocks at me or chased me or whatever like that. That's where I've got all the stories like that. And also they've got the best descriptions of Yowies in my opinion. So please go and have a look at Tantanoola Tigers and also my playlist called Jamie's Favourites. If you just scroll down on my page, you'll find it. Or if you hit the playlist button, you'll find it in playlists, Jamie's Playlists. So that's about it for me. I'm moving up north from Harvey Bay. I don't know where, around Rockhampton or Gladstone area I'm looking at. I haven't actually got it. I've just sold my house this week virtually, and so now I'm looking to move up there. And this channel's not dead. It's never going to be dead. I've actually made a commitment to myself. I've got about 360-something videos out on my channel, and I swore that I would never quit before 500. So there'll be 500 videos on the channel before I quit. Where's my Yowie? So I've still got a heap more to go. And like with the historical ones, I reckon that no one has found more historical Yowie reports than me. And if they have, good luck to them. And I like the challenge of it. And so that's about it for me. I'm moving. Go to Tantanoola Tigers. Watch Jamie's playlist again, please. Please watch him again. And I won't be gone that long, I promise you. I will be back better than ever. Okay, that's it for me. I'll talk to you all next time. Bye.